A lot of wind out there, Den, and they say rain is on the way, so perfect indoors anyway.
They generally know what they're doing with that roof. Here's the opening bounce then, and away we go. Cruiser taps it forward, taken by Jack, smothered off his boot. Ricochets high in the air. Mumford came again, did well, gave it to Kennedy. Kennedy takes a free kick.
Already the two big ruckmen into the game.
Comes out wide. Hasn't got the carry for Jack. Well, almost got hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Armfield goes after it. Then let it bounce its own way. Yaron ambitiously tried to get through. Threw it on the boot. McLean falling to the ground. Did okay to Tui. And now Yaron's away. He's on the wing, Yaron. Nobody inside the forward 50 yet. Well, getting back. The first to get back was Grundy. He marks about 10 metres in.
Still, mate.
There was nobody for the long kick. Now McVeigh.
And quickly he moves it. The Blues love the sight of Yaron flying forward to the wing. The ball comes and Cruiser kills it for the moment.
And that's a good sign early on because Rats just spoke before about the transition. They transitioned really well then, Carlton. They got to their direct opponents. They're going to try and employ more of a one-on-one mentality this afternoon.
So Mumford, a welcome inclusion, does the shoulder-to-shoulder work against Cruiser, and the familiar sight of a heap of players jumping on top of the loose ball.
The Swans have started Jeddah on the bench. He struggled the last couple of weeks with a heavy tag, so they're starting him on the bench to break that.
Week by week proposition at the moment, the Blues, but right now they are still in the hunt. Lewis Roberts-Thompson couldn't take it cleanly. Kennedy could, and quickly they move it. And now Matner sends the ball to half forward. Pike is there, Bolton too. Pike sort of shuffles it in the Bolton direction, but boundary line beats all players. So early going, the Swans warm favourites, but the Blues having a good month.
Brunso's gone to O'Keefe at the stoppages.
Mumford just in the direction of the 250 gamer today in O'Keefe. In the end, just crashed forward. Bolton underneath it all. Yaron, he applies the pressure, takes him to ground. Ball spills out. Tui's there with McLean.
Nick Smith's got the big job on Eddie Betts today. Eddie's the main goal scorer for Carlton. He's kicked 40, so you're looking to hold him down today.
One of the marquee matchups out there at the moment. Gibbs has gone to Goods. I mean, that's going to be a great contest.
Rock McLean having a bit to say, as he always does, one way or another. In that pack, McVeigh did well. At close quarters to Kennedy, to Bird. And Bird snaps and misses. Not by much.
Well, they create more forward line stoppages than any other side in the competition, the Sydney Swans, and then they're very good at setting themselves up and scoring from that part of the ground, as we've just seen. That's something that Carlton have to be really mindful of, them creating that space and then getting that quick handball, that quick release to set somebody up for a scoring opportunity.
Yaron well outside the 50 at the back of the pack. An opportunity for Casbolt. Going over the top and doing pretty well. O'Keefe went looking for McVeigh. Strong tackle came from Richards. Ball jarred out of there. Matner's got it now. The former Crow goes along the line, but it floats out of bounds on the full.
You speak, Tim, about the goal spread. The Swans have enjoyed 20 players have kicked 20 plus this year. Just bets for the Blues. They become a high-scoring side under John Longmire as Bird just sends it forward again. Howlett settled for Pike out the back. Bolton just lurks. The one back inside to McLean. A bit hot for him. And the Blues through Yaron. They get their hands onto it, but not for long.
Just got to mind his concentration, Yaron. He is playing on Bolton as we see Bolton about to pick up the ball. What a player he's been for the Sydney Swans over the years as well. But he's just lost him a couple of times. Bolton's a really, really smart player that can slip out the back at the right time.
So Bolton just puts it to the hot spot, and there's a few players around the place that look likely for the Swans, and Lewis Roberts-Thompson takes it directly in front. Kicked the first of the match last weekend, might just do the same here. Nice shot of what lies ahead for LRT. And he opens the account for the Swans on a Sunday afternoon.
Having a good season, Lewis. Tall target up front. Mentioned Sam Reid not there this afternoon. They get Mumford back, so that man can spend more time on the forward line.
this may be a problem for them all afternoon, just their lack of height in defence, Carlton. They've got Jamison, Gibbs and McGuinness, who are their talls down back. I mean, Jamison is really the only recognised tall defender.
It's Thompson, born the same day as Chris Judd, who's not out there this afternoon. Curnow out of the middle, sends it down towards half forward. Runs towards the line, working in front. Shaw did well, trying to keep it in. Simpson succeeded, spills across to McVeigh now of Sydney, twisting, turning. Armfield played him well, right in his hip pocket. Gave him no breathing room. We've got a boundary throw in.
Looks like Simpson has that defensive job maybe on Reece Shaw as well.
Jett has come onto the ground and Armfield's gone straight to him.
Cruiser's got a free kick. Push. Takes something off this kick, just lobbing it up too easy. Weight goes up virtually uncontested. Just ghosting across in front of two players jostling for position 15 metres out. Watch this again.
In the end, it was the perfect kick, though, wasn't it, Dennis? I mean, it just got it to a spot. Didn't kick it on top of his head. Actually, he leads back. He directs Weight really with the kick. He gets the jump at it. And that's where he's very difficult to stop.
First game in 12 weeks. He won the toss. How about this? Gets Carlton's first goal. Just. The toss was more convincing.
So Jared Waite, he debuted against the Swans, played his 100th against the Swans, and now game 150. And he and Kade Simpson both back into the lineup for the Blues this afternoon. Kade Simpson 3 weeks out with a broken jaw, wears the helmet this afternoon. A nice decision to make at the board table where to play Jared Waite. Normally it's Jared Waite is watching on, so a good start for Jared Waite, the Savo.
There's no doubt the forwards love to get their hands on the ball early, and you see the players coming up and congratulating him, and that's going to do the world of good for his confidence. That's a great start. He's a confidence player too, Jared Waite. Good tap.
O'Keefe out of the middle, sends it out towards right half forward. Joseph had a chance. Goods taking the ground. Now is he tasked that? Curnow. Still Curnow. Socket off the ground by Goods inside the 50.
Here's a chance, a little under McGlynn. Wide to Parker, bouncing ball. He's got a bit of space, fumbles, pressure comes. Well done too. Off half back, the Irishman runs, takes the bounce. Collins might give him a bit of support. Hard on the lead, going back now, Waite. Short ball is on. Well, cut off by Shaw. Richards, Garlett crashing through. I thought White was going to be right on the end of it. It gets held up for the moment.
How gutsy there was Shaw. It didn't look to him. He just full pelt backwards.
No, that was brave. And I think what we just saw then was an Irishman that actually hasn't played our game for long enough to understand the subtleties and the poise and the composure that you need when you're coming down the ground. I mean, he should have given that off to one of his Carlton teammates, particularly Garlett, who was much. It was just forward of him, and you know, he was such a skillful player.
Johnson from left half back kicks it up towards the wing, and again Roberts-Thompson takes the mark, that time juggling it. Malcheski steps through. It's a team of beards. He goes down towards half forward, and the mark is taken by Gibbs. Slips a hand pass away. Now it's going to be a free kick to Goods, I think. Yes, it is. Oh, umpire Leopard spotted something. Back we go.
Well off the ball, all right, when he's doubling back. You can run with him, but don't drop him, all right? It's right in front of him. You can touch it, just run.
So Sydney getting the charity goal, if you like, from the goal square, and they lead by 7.
So Simpson just taking his first breather of the game, and this is one of the things that really confounds you watching footy for a long time. And there's a free kick. I mean, definite free kick there. So Gibbs has got the ball, plays on, gives it over to Scotland. Now Scotland's been playing long enough to know that he picks his ball up here, it has to go back to Goods. I mean, once you pick the ball up, you've got to give it back to the player whose free kick it is. And such an elementary error, and I mean the consequence of that is they kick the easiest of goals.
So Goods, one of those 7 players we talked about that's kicked more than 20 goals this year. That even spread continues, and Goods just spending enough time all over the ground to his joy, I think, and coming crashing through, trying hard. Murphy just gave it to Cruiser, went and won it again, quickly to half forward, rolling sort of a ball. Scotland quickly hurries it forward, but It'll be a boundary ball.
John, fascinated by this battle between Mumford and Cruiser in the middle. I mean, that was just a lovely tap there from Matthew Cruiser at the centre bounce. We've seen Mumford already featuring in play like that too. So
talk about recycling specialists, the Swans. Mumford, McGlynn and Kennedy, haven't they been fabulous in the last few years?
They have, and now the other ruckman too, Pike, who's been so good in recent times. He and Kennedy have been able to strike up a real relationship, ruck to ground level player.
So Pike, O'Keefe gets taken high. You heard the umpire. Goods in the middle of the ground, just signals to go wide to McVeigh, and that's what happens. O'Keefe finds McVeigh. Goods on the lead now. He leads Gibbs to it, takes it over the top is Hanbury. Goods sees him now, goes in that direction. Hanbury, Murphy, Hanbury. Well done, Goods. Well done, O'Keefe. Well played, Swans.
And Kirky, that's exactly what you have to do when you're a player like Hanbury playing on a midfield like Murphy once you see that break.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be able to make him nullify his influence inside, and then when the Swans get it, really break on the transition, and that's what the Swans have been so good over this year.
So Hanbury to try and get the third for the Swans. Just across the face.
And it was clinical the way that they broke then too in transition, wasn't it? Using the fat side of the ground, the outer side of the ground, and then the players had actually left that space open, and then they ran their direct Carlton opponents into that space.
And Goods was doing the directing in the middle of the ground, then broke back inside 50.
How about that? Gets onto a spiral, does Tui. Good mark taken by Malcheski. Big pack. Adjacent to the centre circles.
I'll take that back when I said before that he doesn't understand the subtleties of the game, Dennis.
Obviously, your voice carries, Tim. You brought the best out in him. He got onto one. That's a great feeling. He's probably still down there in the goal square curling the mo. Well, needs to pick up a man.
There's blokes who've been playing the game for 15 years wouldn't attempt that.
But when you get onto one, that's the feeling. Here's McGlynn meantime, back at the game. That's a beautiful kick. And McVeigh gets in behind and takes the mark on his chest 25 metres out. I hope he's not Tui's man.
Wow, that's good connection. And this is a spectacular kick to that space on the outer side again. They use that fat side space to the ground well.
Hope he's not Tui's man. McVeigh then, kick is on the way. Goal umpire goes to his right, but it's good. So the fast start, falling for the Swans. They're up by 14. So good. We saw the spiral. Unfortunately, though, I think the next part of the equation, Tim, may have been for the Carlton players to knock it on. As it was, Malcheski took the mark, and it came back a little quicker than the defence was ready for.
He has been something else, McVeigh, over the journey for this football side, and his season continues to get better, and the Swans outfit remain unheralded but remain on top.
Early domination too in disposals, 38-14, so they're just dominating the ball and monopolising the ball at the moment, Sydney.
So Mumford again, the 241s go up in the middle. Casbolt, Mumford, the Swans win it again. Hanbury, little one, Malcheski will go on to the left and go long. Goods might get on the end of this, not quite. Got a hand to it, Gibbs. Tim's already alluded to the fascination in that battle. Little push forward by Jack. Casbolt is there, so too O'Keefe. Hard ball to win.
Gibbs has got a good track record on Goods, playing on him a number of times and doing a pretty good job.
You look across this Swans outfit, Tim, there are very few weaknesses now in the 22.
Yeah, they're almost the complete side, Sydney.
So Casbolt tries to knock it down. Kennedy held. So this fast start might just get better. Kennedy from 60, long ball. Well, Pike sees it go over the head, and Jamison does well for the Blues.
Outbodied him beautifully then. Jamison got the early bump on him.
Simpson. Shades of Rod Ashman just pops it over to the run of Yaron. This is what they desire. Yaron distributing the football, doesn't kick this time. Hand passes to Curnow, forced to kick with his left foot inside the forward 50. So that didn't work too well. Richards pushes up, gets a hand pass to Hanbury. Out it comes in the direction of Jack. Jack had to apply a tackle there on McLean, got him down. Jetta tackled by Bell. Hanbury butted up again. Murphy arrives and just pushes the ball across the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in. But with Yaron running, the ideal finish isn't somebody under pressure kicking with their left foot.
No, it's a good point. And that last kick inside your attacking 50 is so important in modern day football.
So quick kick forward, Goods again with Gibbs. Gibbs happy to sort of corral and then measured his options. Did a good job. McGuinness, quick kick to the wing. McLean and Armfield sit underneath it, all off hands.
I reckon that's a great matchup for Gibbs too. Like, he hasn't had his best season, but to give him a challenge and to play him on somebody that is the superstar like Adam Goods, I think that's a great challenge to set him.
So the Blues, 3 of the last 4, desperate to make it 4 of 5 and stay in the hunt. The Swans, remarkably, trying to make it 9 wins in a row.
He's going to be really tested, though, because all the Sydney Swans players have pushed up the ground. He's been isolated one-on-one with Adam Goods, and that has to be a lonely space back down there.
Blues fans thinking Garlett might have been taken a little high. Meanwhile, Bolton just does what he's been doing forever. Crashes through, off to Smith, now to Malcheski. Gets through a couple of Blues. Long ball, all about the bounce now. Once, twice. Gibbs gets there just.
They're wasting no time. That's a magnificent kick coming out. It's footy's equivalent of the tumble turn. He got it to Simpson. Across to Scotland, close to the boundary line. Casbolt, try and keep up with this. Casbolt's got the ball at half forward, kicks down towards the 50, up in front Murphy, knocked away by Johnson. Roving and getting the crumb is Shaw, drives it to the outer side wing. Will it stay in? Carlton need it to stay in. They've got the numbers all around the footy. Scotland comes back to Joseph. Joseph pops it across to Gibbs. Gibbs clears the man on the mark, then squares the ball. White's got it. McLean is running. Bolton's in pursuit, so a couple of veterans here. McLean gets it on the wing. Bolton ties him up. Well done by Bolton. Came across on the angle. Held McLean to that position, but that's a beautiful kick. So McLean made something of it. Found White. White along the line. Collins. He's getting better, Collins.
Yes, he is.
Former Tiger. Hugs the boundary. Cruiser. That'll be tight for the boundary umpire, who is in perfect position. Like the man at second base, he was just crouched looking down the line, and Cruiser able to snabble it.
Gee, they hugged the boundary line, that forward thrust, didn't they, Carlton? Used the width of the ground.
So Cruiser at least is contemplating having a shot from here. Now I think he's stuck with it. In he comes. That's a beautiful looking kick, just slightly away to the left, going with the natural arc and through for a minor score. Margin 14.
Play on.
As you said, Dan, the umpire in good position, as we saw on the replay there. And quickly Shaw gives it off to Grundy. Just hacks towards the wing, off hands. Who's on top of the loose ball? Mumford first. Well done. Waite just took him to task, took him to ground. And I reckon Jared Waite might just be enjoying being back in this and on this big stage.
And we talked about the depth of their midfield, Hammer. 9-3 clearances so far. So that's got to be a worrying sign for Brett Ratton up there in the coach's box.
Well, quickly Mumford to Kennedy, the kick to the wing. Well done, O'Keefe. Took everyone on. Birdwatcher's on. Jack pleads for a free kick going the Swans' way. Interesting story, Jack. I mean, Tim, it's the equivalent of Gary Ablett growing up with old man Gary Ablett and deciding to play league and win a best and fairest for the Storm. It's a remarkable story.
Bounce on the logo then. 21 plays 7. Pike got it down. Malcheski, who started well. The meat and the sandwich there.
Straight up, boys.
Did you mention that there was a birdwatcher out there?
A birdwatcher?
A birdwatcher, Hammer?
I don't think so, did they? Did you watch a birdwatcher?
I'm not sure. I was listening too. Don't think I wasn't listening, but I missed that.
What I said.
That's a good way to be, I reckon. Birdwatcher. Hand pass comes out from. We've got the yellow-bellied sapsucker down on the boundary, Brett Kirk. But other than that, I'm not sure what we've got. Jack missed it. There's an opportunity in defence now for White, who sends it back towards half forward for Carlton. Let's stop the show, Tim. Opportunity for Pike. Pike slips a hand pass away to Parker. Parker goes back. Finds Smith, who goes along the boundary line, and like a bird, you're clairvoyant, Tim. Simpson almost landed on the helmet. He launched himself. He was like a levitating yogi. Oh, and that hurt.
What were the Blues fans wanting at that stage, do you think?
Byproduct of that is, it's a free kick to Sydney. But we like what the boy did. He kicks inside the forward 50. In from the side. White thumps it towards the boundary. Half chance for McVeigh.
What was it paid as a free kick in the back? I mean, I thought it was a legitimate attempt at marking.
So that's why the Blues fans...
Of course,
I didn't see that it had been... I thought it just went over the boundary and they were about to throw it back in, but the fans onto it a lot earlier than us.
What was it for?
Well, I think they were saying...
Unrealistic attempt.
Yeah, it was almost a very good mark.
Contravening airspace.
Oh, no. That's a terrible decision. Yeah, he did dive on the ball, but in the end, the ball wasn't under him, it was under the Sydney player.
Meanwhile, Mumford gets on the lead. Long ball to the top of the square. Offhand, Scotland. He's got to be good. Bell there too. Quick give. Here's a chance for Jack. Over the top. Clever. Bolton backwards again. Malcheski on his favoured left. That was terrific. It all happens pretty quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah. He started terrifically well, Malcheski. I like those players who can run off half-back, and he can do that. He comes up, he gets his footy in midfield, and he distributes. They're not a one-trick pony like Carlton, who need Yaron. They've got 3 or 4 options to distribute that football for them.
You've just got to make sure, though, if you're playing on Malcheski, who hits the ground really heavily there, bang straight in his head, and he was stunned and dazed there for a couple of minutes. You've got to be playing on his left side, though, Dennis, because that's where you've actually got to cut down his space.
Cruiser deftly down to Murphy. Feigns a hand pass, breaks away as Murphy kicks inside the forward 50. Slipping over down there was Grundy. Gets to his feet, pursues the footy, running over at Smith. Opportunity for Casbolt. A hand pass missed. Armfield spinning into trouble, and then out of trouble was Bolton. Gave the hand pass to Richards. Richards kicked it out towards the wing. There may have been O'Keefe in defence there. We've got boots of ball. Plenty of Swans around the footy in any case. Meantime, Tui goes to half forward, and the mark is taken low down, diving. Puts Waite about 60 metres out. Waite made his debut against Sydney, round 1 of 03. Sends it long towards the kick-off line. Could have been some holding on the arm of a Swan. He's claiming a free, nothing doing, and kicking the goal is Casbolt. Well, it appeared to be a free kick to Sydney.
Well, on first look at that, you'd have to say that was a free kick to Teddy Richards. It looked like his arm got taken away in the marking. George, just watch this carefully again. Richards setting himself, bang. Look at that. Cruiser's just dragged his arm down.
How could they miss that?
You just wonder, don't you?
You do.
You just wonder how somebody can get pinged like Betts did for holding the ball when the ball wasn't under him, and we let something like that go at the top of the goal square.
And don't forget that unrealistic attempt. That was realistic. Depends if a man knows his own capabilities. And he knew he could get high there, Simpson.
Well, he just dropped the mark. I mean, that's
right. That's a crazy decision.
And you just heard the noise around the stadium. They were the Blues fans watching on, I think, at the replay. So I think even they might have thought they got a little bit lucky. Meanwhile, the Swans just press the issue. McGlynn fires it into Goods, plays on quickly. Here goes Jetta with speed. Well, in the end, it was terrific effort. Was it Armfield that got an arm onto him?
Yep.
That was terrific. Talk about 2 speedsters. Jetta has plenty of it.
Oh, just enough to put him off balance then. That's all you need sometimes, just to get that arm in there.
He didn't calculate on a fast white man as the ball comes out towards the boundary. Opportunity there for Joseph. Still going, Joseph. Well done. Slips a hand pass away. Yaron cramped for room on the boundary. Fires one in at Betts. What a catch that was. More a catch than a mark. Got the hands to it and they stopped the footy. Well, what was he thinking, Eddie? Just sends it down to Grundy. Grundy goes short to Shaw. Now McVeigh, he's at centre half back. Sydney with the poise at the moment. That's a beautiful kick. Should bounce obligingly for Hanbury. Feeds it back inside. He's a force of nature, Goods. He's hard to bring down. Jetta stood up in a tackle. Goes back looking for Hanbury. Over the ball is Bell. Bell does nicely. Feeds it wide. Armfield, who ran down Jetta moments ago, but Jetta into the action, did brilliantly on cue. Knocked the ball down, taken by Goods, and he goes to Bolton.
Well, deep is Lewis Roberts-Thompson, ignored quickly to Malcheski. He might go in that direction now. On the lead, Pike. LRT's around the place. Pike, a little give. Kennedy stops, turns inside, retreats. Smith receives, takes on Betts. Gets onto the left now. 3 Blues, just the one Swan. Off hands. Goods comes in, gives a bit of support. Now a chance, Jack. He gets wrapped up. Off to Parker. The Blues, though, will get the free kick.
Might get Kirky just to keep his eye on Andrew Carazzo. He hasn't touched the ball yet. He's sitting on the bench at the moment, but it's most unlike him not to be participating in a game of footy.
Yeah, he went to O'Keefe early, and then O'Keefe went and played as a permanent forward, and then he didn't have a match-up in there.
Well, you count that as a Sydney win if you take Carazzo off just because he hasn't got a match-up, wouldn't you? Because the ball was short of the wing, and Lewis Roberts-Thompson stays down as McGlynn breaks away through the fingertips there of Goods. Lurking behind is Murphy. Scotland. Yaron will try it again. Goes with his right boot again. Finds a Sydney Swan again. Well, almost. Grundy dropped the mark. Collins could have been taken high. Will get the free kick. And Cruz with the presence of mind to stop. Collins looks across the ground. Now here's a chance. Carlton, 2 men. They spread. Gibbs and White. Gibbs goes short and finds Armfield. Armfield. That's a beautiful kick. Garlick juggles the mark in the left full forward pocket. So those speedsters seen little of the football so far. Be nice if one of them could kick a goal from here.
That was great play, though, just to change the angle of the ball, go across the ground with that really quick kick. Open up this side of the ground for the speedsters to run into.
And all the better, too, because he went to a bloke who can kick the footy. Garlick working it back. That's beautiful. Terrific all round from Carlton.
You just need the ball in the hands of the smart players, though, don't you? Gibbs just lowered his eyes. He hit that Armfield target. Didn't panic. It was the right kick. The other thing about that is it means that Jetta, who's been playing on Armfield, obviously when Carlton has the ball, actually then has to be thinking more about playing defensively when they do have the ball. So it keeps him honest too, Hammer.
Garlett's found some form over the last couple of weeks. I think if they're going to expose the Sydney defenders, that's what they need to do. They really need to isolate them and spread them.
Thanks, Kirky. So the Garlett goal gets the Blues back within touch. 9 points. Hanbury bullocks his way through. Back to Mumford. Now the long ball. Jamison, Goods. Jamison, well done. Used his body well. Now to Gibbs. Gibbs goes in the McLean direction. He's got McGlynn to beat. Now a bit of a foot race. McGlynn jumps on top of the loose ball. McLean. They've been hot on it all weekend.
Armfield's doing a great job on Jetta. He's only had the one touch, playing in front of him like his opponents have over the last couple of weeks.
So McLean, the hero from last week, we'll hear from him at half-time. Back to Jamison, now to the outer side, and Simon White, who's in for his first game of the year. Sends it down the line. A long wait in the end for Casbolt. Swans do it easily. Send it back to the wing. Bolton, Jack, little give was good, and now they're away through Jetta. Runs to 60 inside, perfect to Goods. It's slick movement when they get going, the Swans.
They're very good at creating attacking space for each other. Have a look at how attacking, talk about attacking, this is by Heath Grundy, just smashing that ball. And then all the momentum's going back the other way, and it ends up in the hands of Adam Goods in a set shot.
So Goods trying to add another to his tally this afternoon and extend the Swans' lead. Close to quarter time. Well, you hear the Blues fans are happy with the result. Off hands. I think it's hit the point post umpire calls.
He didn't just caress that ball then, Adam Goods, didn't he? He didn't kick through it at all. I mean, you often see forwards do that when, you know, they're within, say, 35 metres of goal. Much better when they've got a kick outside the arc almost. They really give it a full-blooded crack.
He's looking on, though, isn't he? Goods looking dangerous at the moment.
Yeah, he looks sharp.
Simpson slips it away. Jamison drives it out of defence. Back goes Richards. Was slapped away there. Gathered close to the boundary line by White. McGuinness was the man who got the hand to it initially. He's moved on. He'll be in this contest. Number 26 from behind. Got it on the deck. Collins. Oh, strongly tackled. Crum there by Smith. Gave it to Parker, to Hanbury. Comes across to Grundy. Fires it back. Johnson now. Not his best effort. Awkward one. McGlynn made it okay. Now they can split. They were everywhere. McVeigh releases Jetta. I reckon that might have been the official timekeeper, with a Carlton leaning. There seemed to be a bit of a push, stronger than most on that siren. It's quarter time. And that was an entertaining term. Sydney getting the fast start. Carlton settling down and coming back. So at the Dome on a Sunday with the roof closed, it's Sydney 4-4 and Carlton 1, or rather 3-1.